This is Coco, a tiny Chihuahua with soft eyes, a little gray around her face, and a way of looking at you that makes the whole room go quiet. Coco was not always this slow. There was a time when she ran to the door, fast little feet, sharp little bark, big attitude in a tiny body. She would spin when she heard your keys. She would jump before you even said her name. She would act like the whole house belonged to her. And maybe, in a way, it did. But now, Coco is older. She still hears you come home. She still lifts her head. She still looks toward the door. But she does not always run like before. Sometimes she waits. Sometimes she takes a few careful steps. Sometimes she lets you come to her first. And that small change can touch your heart. Because Coco is still Coco. She is still your little shadow. Still your tiny boss. Still the small dog who somehow fills the whole home. But her love may look different now. Softer, quieter, slower, more careful. And if you have an older Chihuahua, you may understand this feeling. You may see your own dog in Coco. Maybe your Chihuahua follows you more than before. Not quickly, not loudly, just closely. Maybe they sleep longer during the day, but still open their eyes when you move. Maybe they do not ask to play the same way, but they still want to lie beside your leg, still want your hand nearby, still want your voice in the room. With Coco, it happens in little moments. She may follow you into the kitchen, then stop halfway. She may watch you from her blanket. Instead of jumping up right away, she may wait for you to sit down, then slowly move closer. Not demanding, not dramatic, just needing your presence in a softer way. Many Chihuahua owners notice changes like this with age. Older Chihuahuas may become more attached, more sensitive to routine, more interested in comfort, and sometimes more easily unsettled by change. This does not mean Coco understands aging like a person. It does not mean she thinks about time the way we do. But her body may be changing. Her energy may be changing. Her senses may be changing. And the world around her may feel a little harder to manage. So your presence may become more important. You may become the familiar part of her day, the voice she recognizes, the hands that lift her gently, the footsteps she has heard for years. The person who knows when she is tired. The person who notices the little pauses. The person who understands that Coco no longer moves like a puppy. And for a senior Chihuahua, those small things can matter deeply. Coco may not need a bigger life now. She may need a gentler one, a slower morning, a softer blanket, a calmer voice, a little more patience at the door, a little more care before picking her up. A few extra seconds before expecting her to move. Older Pomeranians can show similar changes too. Some may become more vocal. Some may want more lap time. Some may seem less confident in busy rooms. But with Coco, and many Chihuahuas like her, these changes can feel especially emotional. Because a Chihuahua can be so small, yet so deeply woven into your daily life. Coco takes up very little space on the couch. But somehow, her presence fills the room. That is why watching her grow older feels so personal. You remember her younger days, the fast little feet, the fearless bark, the way she acted bigger than the world. And now, you see something softer. A little dog who waits, a little dog who watches, a little dog who may need your love in a different way. Not louder, not more dramatic, just more aware. More patient, more gentle. So as you listen to Coco's story, think about your own dog. Maybe your Chihuahua has changed too. Maybe they move slower now. Maybe they stay closer. Maybe they look at you longer than they used to. If your Chihuahua is getting older, write their name and age in the comments. Tell me what changed first, because this video is about Coco, but it is also for every older Chihuahua who still wants to be near the person they trust. For the tiny dogs who move slower now, but still fill our homes with love. And for the owners, learning to love them in a softer way. Coco is small. She has always been small. But when a Chihuahua gets older, that tiny body can seem even more delicate. A step that once looked easy may look higher now. A couch that once felt normal may feel harder to reach. A shiny floor may feel less safe under little paws. Even a short walk may ask more from her than it used to. And this is where love has to slow down. Not because Coco is helpless, not because she is broken, but because her body may be asking for a gentler pace. Older Chihuahuas often move more carefully. They may pause before jumping. They may hesitate before walking across slippery floors. They may choose a softer blanket instead of a hard spot. They may enjoy shorter walks or more breaks along the way. With Coco, you might notice it in tiny moments. She stands near the couch, but does not jump right away. She looks at the step, then looks back at you. She follows you to the door, but stops before going outside. She still wants to be part of your day. She may just need more time to get there, and that can be hard for an owner to accept, because in your heart, you still remember puppy Coco, the little dog who ran like lightning, the little dog who jumped before thinking, the little dog who believed every chair was hers. But Senior Coco may need something different now. She may need you to notice the height of the couch, the coldness of the floor, the speed of your walk, the way you pick her up, the way you put her down. Sometimes, loving an older Chihuahua means changing small things. A lower bed, a warmer blanket, a slower walk, a softer place to land, a little pause before opening the door, a gentle hand under the chest and body. Not big dramatic changes, just thoughtful ones. Because Coco may not ask in a loud way. She may simply stop trying. She may wait. She may look at you. She may choose the easier path. And if we are busy, we might miss that. We might think she is being stubborn, or lazy, or less interested. But one possible explanation is simple. The world may feel more physically demanding now. So the kindest thing is not to push her back into puppy life. It is to meet her where she is. Older Pomeranians may need this too. A Pom may still look bright and fluffy. They may still smile with that lively little face. But under all that fur, their body may also need a slower routine. Shorter play, gentler brushing, more careful handling. Small dogs often hide effort well, so owners have to look closely. With Coco, every small adjustment says something. You do not have to prove she is still young. You do not have to make her keep up. You only have to show her that she is safe at this slower speed. And if movement changes suddenly, or Coco seems painful, or she stops doing things she normally enjoys, a veterinarian check may be appropriate. Not because every change is dangerous, but because careful love also pays attention. So today, look at Coco's little world. Her bed, her steps, her favorite chair, her walking path, her food bowl, her blanket. Ask yourself one gentle question. Is this still easy for her, or can I make it softer? Because sometimes, an older Chihuahua does not need more excitement. She needs fewer obstacles. She needs less rushing. She needs a world that moves at her pace. And when you slow down for Coco, you are not losing the dog she used to be. You are honoring the dog she is now. As Coco gets older, her world may change in quiet ways. Not all at once, not always in obvious ways, but little by little. A sound may surprise her more than before. A shadow may make her pause. A room full of movement may feel harder to follow. A familiar hallway may seem different at night. And when the world feels less predictable, Coco may look for something familiar. That familiar thing may be you, your voice, your footsteps, your scent, your place on the couch, the rhythm of your day. This may be why an older Chihuahua follows more closely. Not because she is trying to control you, not because she wants to be difficult, and not because she is suddenly needy for no reason. She may simply feel more settled when you are nearby. With Coco, you might notice this in small ways. You walk into the kitchen. She follows. You go to the bedroom. She waits near the door. You stand up from the couch. Her eyes open. You move down the hallway. She turns her head to track you. She may not always get up, but she still wants to know where you are. That quiet watching can mean a lot. Because for a senior Chihuahua, your presence may help the day feel organized. You are part of the map, part of the routine, part of what makes the house feel safe. This does not mean Coco thinks exactly like a person. It does not mean she is worried in the way humans describe worry. But older dogs may rely more on familiar signals, and Coco may use those signals to feel more secure. Your calm voice may help her settle. Your slow movement may help her relax. Your predictable routine may help her understand what comes next. That is why sudden changes can affect senior dogs. A moved bed, a new loud appliance, visitors in the house, a changed walking route, a different feeding time. For you, these may seem small. For Coco, they may take more effort to process. And because Chihuahuas are so small, the world is already big around them. Tall legs, loud doors, heavy footsteps, fast hands, large furniture. Even loving excitement can feel like a lot. So when Coco stays close, try not to see it only as clinginess. Look deeper. She may be choosing the safest place she knows. Beside you, near your feet, under your chair, against your leg, on the blanket that smells like home. Older Pomeranians may show this too. A senior Pom may bark more when startled, or follow their owner from room to room, or become more vocal when the home feels busy. That behavior might not be stubbornness. It could be a request for reassurance. And with Coco, reassurance does not always need to be big. Sometimes it is just saying her name softly, letting her see where you are going, keeping her bed in a familiar place, walking a little slower through the room, giving her time before touching her. These small things tell her world to slow down. They help the day feel less sudden, less loud, less confusing. So when Coco watches you from across the room, notice her. When she follows you slowly, wait for her. When she pauses at the doorway, give her a second. Because older Chihuahuas may not always need more attention. Sometimes they need more predictability, more patience, more familiar signals, more gentle reassurance. And maybe, in this season of Coco's life, your presence is not just company. It may be the anchor that helps her feel safe in a changing world. Not every older Chihuahua becomes more clingy. Some become quieter, softer, more still. And with Coco, this can be easy to miss, because she may not bark for you like before. She may not jump when you enter the room. She may not spin in circles at your feet. She may not bring the same puppy energy into every morning. Instead, Coco may stay on her blanket. She may lift her head slowly. She may watch you with calm eyes. She may wait until you come closer. And if you are busy, you might think she wants to be alone. But that may not be the whole story. Sometimes, an older Chihuahua still wants connection. She may just ask for it more quietly. Coco may not run across the room now, but she may look for your hand. She may not climb into your lap right away, but she may settle beside your foot. She may not bark to get attention, but she may follow you with her eyes. She may not demand love loudly, but she may still feel comfort when you notice her. This is one of the softest parts of loving a senior dog. You have to learn a new language, a slower language, a quieter language, a language made of pauses, eye contact, tiny movements, small choices. The old Coco may have been easy to read. Fast feet meant excitement. Sharp bark meant opinion. Jumping meant she wanted up. Spinning meant the day was starting. But senior Coco may speak differently. A long look may matter. A small lean may matter. Choosing the blanket near you may matter. Resting her chin while you talk may matter. These are not dramatic signs, but they are still signs. And many Chihuahua owners understand this deeply. Because Chihuahuas can be expressive, but they can also become very subtle with age. Their love may not disappear. It may simply become quieter, less like fireworks, more like a warm light left on in the room. Older Pomeranians can show this too. A Pom may still look bright and animated. That fluffy face can make them seem forever young. But some older Pomeranians also begin asking for affection more softly. A quiet sit beside you, a gentle lean, a slower approach. Those moments can mean more than they first appear. With Coco, the important thing is not to force her back into her old self. It is to notice who she is now. If she rests more, let her rest. If she approaches slowly, wait. If she watches you from across the room, speak gently. If she chooses to be near you, honor that choice. Because sometimes love becomes quieter with age. But quieter does not mean smaller. It does not mean weaker. It does not mean gone. It may mean Coco is conserving energy. It may mean she feels safest in calm moments. It may mean her favorite kind of closeness has changed. And that is okay. You can still meet her there. Not with loud excitement. Not with pressure. Not by asking her to act young again, but by sitting near her, touching her gently, letting her rest against you, and noticing the small ways she still reaches for you. So if your senior Chihuahua has become quieter with age, share what changed first. Was it the way they greeted you? The way they played? The way they asked to be picked up? Tell me in the comments. Because Coco's quietness is not empty. It is part of her story now. And when you learn to hear it, you may realize something beautiful. Your older Chihuahua may not be saying less. She may simply be speaking more softly. Coco does not need you to love her louder now. She may need you to love her softer. That sounds simple, but it can change everything. Because when Coco was younger, love may have looked different. Fast walks, playful chasing, big greetings, jumping onto the couch, running to the door, tiny paws tapping across the floor, a sharp bark that seemed bigger than her body. That was Coco's younger language. Bright, quick, full of energy. But senior Coco may speak in a gentler way now. She may not want the same rough play. She may not enjoy sudden movement. She may not want to be picked up too quickly. She may not want loud excitement near her face. She may need more time before she responds. More space before she trusts the next step. More calm before she relaxes. And this is where love becomes quieter. A softer voice, a slower hand, a warmer blanket, a shorter walk, a safer step down from the couch, a little pause before touching her, a little patience when she does not move right away. These things may look small to us, but for Coco, they can become the whole shape of comfort, because older Chihuahuas often live close to the details. The way your hand reaches down, the way your feet move near them, the tone of your voice, the speed of the room, the softness of the place where they sleep, the warmth beside your body. Coco may not need a perfect owner. She may not need a perfect routine. She may simply need you to notice. Notice when her steps are slower. Notice when her eyes look tired. Notice when she chooses the quiet corner. Notice when she wants to be near you, but not handled too much. Notice when lying beside you is enough. That is a kind of love too. Not always picking her up. Not always asking her to play. Not always trying to make her act young again. Sometimes love is letting Coco rest. Sometimes love is sitting beside her without asking for anything. Sometimes love is lowering your voice. Sometimes love is moving the blanket closer. Sometimes love is waiting until she comes to you. And sometimes love is accepting that the old version of Coco is not gone. She is still there, just softer now, wrapped inside a slower body, showing up in quieter ways. Your calm presence may help Coco feel safer. Your gentle touch may help her settle. Your predictable care may help her day feel easier. Not because Coco understands everything the way a person does, but because dogs often respond deeply to tone, routine, and familiar comfort. and senior dogs may depend on those things even more. Older Pomeranians may need this softer love too. For a senior Pom, it might mean brushing more gently, letting them rest before play, giving reassurance without crowding them, speaking calmly when they bark from surprise. Small dogs can carry big energy, but in their senior years, they may ask us to listen more carefully. Coco's body is tiny, but her needs are not invisible. She may need help getting down. She may need a quieter place to sleep. She may need a softer path through the house. She may need you to remember that small dogs can feel overwhelmed too. And none of this means you should feel sad every time you look at her. That is not what Coco needs. She does not need your grief before it is time. She needs your presence today, your kindness today, your patience today, your soft voice today. Because the gift of loving an older Chihuahua is not only in protecting them, it is in adapting with them, growing gentler with them, learning their new rhythm, respecting their slower pace, and still seeing the same little soul inside. So when Coco pauses, pause with her. When she moves slowly, slow down. When she wants closeness, make room. When she wants rest, let the room become peaceful. If this reminds you of your dog, write their name below. Let the comments become a little space for senior dogs. For Coco, for every older Chihuahua, for every small dog learning to live at a softer speed. Because older Chihuahuas may not need a bigger love. They may need a quieter one, a kinder one, a more patient one. The kind of love that says, I see who you are now, and I am still here. Loving Coco softly does not mean ignoring changes. It means noticing them sooner, because not every change is simply age, and not every quiet moment should be brushed aside. Sometimes, an older Chihuahua changes slowly, a little more sleep, a little less running, a little more time before jumping down. Those changes can happen gently, but other changes deserve closer attention. If Coco suddenly stops eating, if she suddenly avoids walking, if she cries when touched, if she shakes more than usual, if she hides for long periods, if she seems confused in a way that feels new, if she becomes much more irritable, if she no longer enjoys things she usually likes, those moments should not be met with panic, but they should be met with care. Because Coco cannot explain discomfort with words. She cannot say what feels different. She cannot point to one place and tell you what changed. So her behavior becomes part of the message. The pause, the refusal, the sudden stillness, the unusual bark, the way she pulls away, the way she no longer chooses her favorite spot. None of these signs automatically mean something serious, but sudden, severe, or persistent changes may be worth discussing with a veterinarian. And if the change seems more behavioral, a qualified behavior professional may also help. This is not about fear. It is about respect. Respect for Coco's small body. Respect for her senior years. Respect for the fact that aging dogs still deserve careful attention. Sometimes owners feel afraid to look too closely, because noticing change can hurt. You may want Coco to stay the same fast feet, the same bright bark, the same fearless little attitude. And in your heart, those parts of her are still there. But love has to see the dog in front of us, not only the dog we remember. Coco may still be brave, still stubborn, still funny, still full of personality, but she may also need you to notice smaller signals now. A skipped meal, a slower morning, a new hesitation, a different way of resting, a new reaction when picked up. Careful love does not assume. It observes. It listens. It asks for help when needed. Older Pomeranians need this same kind of attention. Their fluffy coats can hide body changes. Their lively faces can make them seem younger than they are. And their bright personalities may hide effort. So Pom owners may need to look past the fluff, just like Chihuahua owners need to look past the tiny attitude. Because small dogs can be very good at seeming okay, until they are not. With Coco, the goal is not to worry about every little thing. The goal is to know her normal, how she eats, how she walks, how she sleeps, how she greets you, how she asks to be held, how she reacts to sounds. When you know Coco's normal, you can notice what is new. And that is one of the deepest forms of love. Not dramatic love, not fearful love, attentive love. The kind that says, I see the small changes. I will not rush past them. I will not call everything stubbornness. I will not call everything aging. I will pay attention, because after all the blankets, all the routines, all the softer walks, and all the gentle moments, there is one thing Coco may need most. Not just to be cared for, but to be truly seen. Coco does not need every day to feel like goodbye. She needs today to feel safe. She needs this morning, this blanket, this quiet room, this familiar voice, this gentle hand. She needs the small things you can still give her now. Not with sadness, not with fear, but with presence. Because Coco is still Coco. Maybe slower now, maybe quieter now, maybe more careful with her little steps, maybe more interested in rest than play, maybe more sensitive to noise, maybe more dependent on routine, but still Coco, still the tiny Chihuahua who changed your home, still the little dog who made ordinary days feel warmer, still the small heartbeat beside you on the couch, still the one who can make you stop everything just by looking at you. And that is the tender truth about older Chihuahuas. They may need us more than ever, not because they are weak, not because they are less themselves, but because love in this season asks for more attention, more patience, more softness, more listening, more respect for the pace their body may need now. Coco may not run to the door like before, but she may still wait for your voice. She may not jump into your lap as quickly, but she may still want the comfort of being near you. She may not play with the same wild energy, but she may still enjoy your warmth beside her. And sometimes, that is enough. More than enough. Older Pomeranians may need this same gentle understanding. So may many small senior dogs. Their bodies may be tiny, but the bond can be enormous. And senior years often ask us to love with more attention. Not louder, not heavier, not full of worry, just softer, more present, more aware. So tonight, when Coco settles near you, notice her. Notice the way she chooses your side of the room. Notice the way she relaxes when your voice is calm. Notice the way her little body still belongs in your daily rhythm. Do not rush past these moments. They are quiet, but they matter. If your Chihuahua is getting older, write their name and age in the comments. Tell me one thing they do now that melts your heart. And if Coco's story reminded you of your own little dog, stay close to this channel, because in the next video, we will talk about why Chihuahuas follow their favorite person everywhere, and why that tiny shadow beside your feet may mean more than most people realize. For Coco, for every older Chihuahua, for every Pomeranian growing softer with age, and for every small dog who still wants to be near the person they trust. May we learn to love them at their new pace. May we notice the quiet changes, and may we never forget that even when they move slower, they still fill the room with love.